into one of the largest occupations in America today, we're protesting wages that hover around $8 an hour. What began as a movement among fast food workers has since mushroomed into a major worker justice movement known as the Fight for $15, in which home care workers, airport workers, adjunct professors, retail workers, and fast food workers have all come together to fight for better wages and working conditions. It is the tip of the spear of the sleeping giant, staking a claim and fertilizing the seeds of a new working-class solidarity. In just a few short years, the fight for $15 has been able to claim significant victories, from consciousness-raising to policy changes in red states and blue states. In the 2014 elections, voters in Alaska, Arkansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota passed ballot measures to raise their state's minimum wage. And voters in San Francisco approved a $15 minimum wage increase, matching Seattle's groundbreaking increase. In 2015, Los Angeles joined the list of cities raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. For working-class people who aren't engaged directly in the growing chorus of workers taking to the streets, the movement brings attention to their needs and struggles. But as important, the movement emphasizes the dignity and value of their jobs. I've interviewed people all across this country, from the Bible Belt to the East Coast, from the Rust Belt to the Pacific Northwest, and one of the most common grievances they express is the lack of respect they experience in the workplace and in our society more broadly. Whatever their job, the individuals I talked to described their work as meaningful and embedded with purpose, yet they also told me about the disrespect they get on the job from their bosses and in society from politicians. For LaShawn and Michelle, who in many ways typify the new working class, their work is deeply gratifying. Note: the names of individuals in this book have been changed. While most people were comfortable using their real names, many of these individuals shared complaints and insights about their workplaces that could make them vulnerable to retaliation by their employer or coworkers. Their race or ethnicity reflects the way they identified their own race or ethnicity during our interview. All names of individuals who work for labor, nonprofit, or other movement-oriented organizations are real. The African-American couple, both in their late 30s, have been married for 12 years and live on the outskirts of Atlanta. LaShawn is a commercial sanitation driver, emptying dumpsters at restaurants, apartment complexes, and local businesses for $16.10 an hour. Michelle is a certified nursing assistant, CNA, providing care for the elderly in their homes. She recently switched jobs and now works as a supervisor, earning $9 an hour for overseeing a staff of CNAs and ensuring that each client receives the best possible care. They both grew up in Atlanta and are now raising their own children there. They love their jobs, deriving true personal satisfaction and pride from their work. Driving a garbage truck is a childhood dream come true for LaShawn, who always had a passion for trucks and sees his job as getting to play with this big machine and getting paid for it. Yet, as we got further into the conversation, it became clear that his pride finds little reciprocation from management. In LaShawn's case, workers are often clocked out by management to avoid paying overtime, even though they're still working, a practice known as wage theft, which is increasingly common in today's working-class jobs. To get close to 40 hours, Michelle used to work 7 days a week, a pace she maintained for 3.5 years before taking her current position. Paying their monthly bills is a challenge, and often credit cards fill in the gap when cash is short. Asked what they'd do if they were paid more, LaShawn said they'd actually be able to take a check and pay rent and have money set aside to buy groceries. Right now, the way our checks are, you have to make a conscious decision. If I don't pay this bill, I can take that money and put it towards groceries. LaShawn also mentioned that he'd like to have the money to treat his kids and wife to a dinner out or a night at the movies, but he doesn't think our nation's elected officials are much concerned about his family's dreams and struggles. It feels like the working class are the lepers of society, needed to carry out the